What's good, YouTubers and YouTubettes? This is JB Sports, back again with another one. Bob Arum, a.k.a. the Bob Father, President and CEO of Top Rank Boxing and promoter of Terrence Bud Crawford, who I have #1 on my pound-for-pound list, did an interview with The Athletic and said that Errol Spence Jr. is perfectly content with fighting guys he know he can beat for good paydays and don't want no smoke with one of his top fighters, Terrence Bud Crawford. Bob Arum also said that Errol Spence Jr. is perfectly content with hiding behind Al Haymon and not getting in the ring with the #1 pound-for-pound king, Terrence Bud Crawford. Bob Arum is hating on Errol Spence Jr. because Errol Spence Jr. is more than likely going to fight the fighter he's been trying to get in the ring with Terrence Crawford for the last several months, that being Manny Pac-Man Pacquiao. That's what this is about. This is sour grapes. This is a man that's like a jealous ex-girlfriend that's been spurned, and she see her ex-boyfriend out with another woman, and she starts saying, well, he didn't have no car. He had to catch the bus on my car. He couldn't hold a job. He didn't take my chair out to sit me down when we went out to eat. And when we went out to eat, I had to pay for everything, this, that, and the third, complaining about the guy after the fact. That's what he sounds like, a spurned, jealous ex-girlfriend, knowing that Manny Pacquiao, who holds all the cards in the welterweight division, don't make no mistake about it, he holds all the cards. He's sitting in the proverbial catbird seat because they know a fight with Manny Pacquiao will be the biggest payday of Crawford or Spence's boxing career. That's what this boils down to. It has nothing to do with Errol Spence Jr. not wanting to fight Terrence Bud Crawford, according to Bob Arum. This has everything to do with him knowing that Manny Pacquiao is not going to fight Bud Crawford. He's more than likely going to fight Errol Spence Jr. That's where the momentum is going to shortly after Spence defeated Garcia. Manny Pacquiao got on Twitter and congratulated Errol Spence Jr. on his win over Danny Garcia. Never congratulated Terrence Bud Crawford, who fought a month before when he defeated Kell Brook. Never once congratulated Terrence Crawford on any of his wins when both of those guys were both at Top Rank Boxing. So if you couldn't make the fight when Manny Pacquiao was there under the same umbrella with Terrence Bud Crawford and your promoter Bob Arum couldn't get you two guys to fight, why do you think now that he's basically a free agent and he's basically can pick and choose where he wants to fight and who he wants to fight under, you now think Bob Arum all of a sudden is going to be able to get that fight for you? Come on, Terrence Crawford, you're better than that. You ought to be able to be smarter than that. Don't fall for the old okie doke. Don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe. The fight's not happening. You need to get ready to fight Sean Porter. Hopefully the WBO will mandate. Well, they already made Sean Porter the mandatory, but hopefully they will call a purse bid so we can get the ball rolling on a potential Terrence Bud Crawford, Sean Showtime Porter WBO welterweight title matchup. But as far as the Bob Father goes, just sour grapes. It's just sour grapes. That's all it is. He's upset and he's lashing out. It's basically what he's doing. And he knows damn well he was singing a whole different tune, you know, when they was doing the promotion to the Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder rematch. He was saying, oh, when they asked him about Crawford and Spence potential matchup, he was like, oh, yeah, we can work together. We're working together now. Me and Al Haymon have a great working relationship. You see how we came together for this big fight with Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder. I have no problems working with these guys. There's been no static. We ain't had any kind of issues. Everything been smooth sailing. Smooth sailing tonight. Cause I really want to be the mind and neck and night. Yeah, smooth sailing like Isaac Brothers. You know what I'm saying? That's what he said. But now he's saying Errol Spence Jr. is hiding behind Al Haymon. And basically Errol Spence Jr. and Al Haymon are perfectly content with fighting guys they know they're going to easily beat and make a good payday beating. They don't have to take a chance of fighting a guy that is dangerous as Terrence Bud Crawford. See how he changed his tune? And the only thing that really changed is that he's not going to be able to get Pacquiao to fight Terrence Bud Crawford. He's losing out on that potential lucrative payday for Crawford and for his company. And now he's looking at the fact that Manny Pacquiao is going to go across the street, going to go on the other side of the street, as Errol Spence Jr. once said to Terrence Crawford when they met up in Dallas before a Maurice Hooker fight. Going to go across the street and fight Errol Spence Jr. in a huge Fox pay-per-view fight that is due, in my opinion, at least 500,000 buys. And that fight will make somewhere around $100 to $200 million in revenue. Way more than a potential Terrence Bud Crawford fight would do. I would say that fight would do somewhere between $100 and $150 million pay-per-view Crawford Spence fight. But Spence Pacquiao would do around 100 to 200 million. That, the bottom is probably close to the same, but the ceiling is much higher for a Manny Pacquiao.